Over 1.1 billion cigarettes are smoked every day around the world. So how does something so widely used come to life in a factory? What begins as a fragile leaf in a quiet field ends up fueling one of the most powerful and controversial industries on the planet. The manufacturing of every single stick of cigarette starts on the soil of farms long before it hits the floor of the factory. From the cultivation and harvesting of tobacco to the final stages of manufacturing, each process plays a crucial role in creating a high-quality product. So let's break down the key steps from farm to factory and see how raw tobacco transforms into a cigarette. The story of every cigarette begins with hands in the soil. At tobacco nurseries, workers methodically fill trays with dark, rich soil, their experienced fingers knowing exactly how much is needed for each seedling to thrive. The seeding machine precisely drops those tiny seeds, each no bigger than a grain of sand, across the trays inside the greenhouse. These seeds find their first home, protected from the harsh outside world as they gather strength. After 7 weeks, the invisible becomes visible, vibrant seedlings ready for transplanting. Machines gently move each seedling to open fields where they grow throughout summer, reaching kindergarten height with broad, swaying leaves. By July, flowers crown each plant, triggering a critical farming decision. Cutting machines precisely top each plant, not out of cruelty, but out of strategy, redirecting energy to create fuller leaves below. Growth inhibitors are applied, and within a month, the green leaves transform to golden yellow, signaling harvest time. Specialized diggers carefully uproot each plant, transferring precious leaves to waiting bins. Trucks loaded with the season's bounty head to warehouses where leaves tumble onto conveyor belts for curing. Wood fires beneath the warehouse floor generate perfect drying heat, a patient 5 to 8 week process requiring careful monitoring. The finale of this first chapter in cigarette making arrives when the dried leaves meet the pressing machine. With hydraulic precision, these once delicate plants are compressed into dense, neat bundles, transformed and ready for the next stage of their journey. When those tightly packed tobacco bundles reach the processing plant, they enter a world where human expertise meets industrial efficiency. This isn't just factory work, it's the art of transformation, where raw leaves begin their journey to become the cigarettes people will eventually hold between their fingers. Workers unload the dried tobacco with practiced hands, knowing that what happens here determines the quality of millions of cigarettes. The sorting room buzzes with activity as people make countless quick decisions, separating leaves by size, type, and by quality. Some workers have been doing this for decades, their trained eyes catching imperfections that many others would miss. The dried leaves get special attention. They're carefully routed to steaming stations where they receive a gentle mist that brings back their suppleness. It's like watching a plant come back to life, the brittle, crackling leaves slowly becoming pliable again under the careful watch of machine operators who adjust settings based on feel and experience rather than just following a manual. And next comes the separation. The stripping machines roar to life as they take in the conditioned leaves. These mechanical wonders perform a delicate operation at high speed, separating the valuable, flavorful leaf material from the tough central stalk. Workers monitor the process, occasionally reaching in to adjust settings or to clear jams, their movements quick and certain from years of practice and experience. After separation, the valuable tobacco leaves enter what many industry veterans consider the heart of cigarette making, the blending room. This isn't just mixing, it's where science meets craftsmanship. Tobacco blenders work like chefs, following closely guarded recipes, combining different tobacco varieties with the precision of perfumers. Some leaves will bring strength, others sweetness. Some contribute to the burn rate, while others affect the aroma. These master blenders pull from different harvests and regions to create consistent flavor profiles that loyal smokers can recognize instantly. A single brand's signature blend might contain up to 20 different tobacco types, each selected for specific qualities they bring to the final cigarette. The blended tobacco then heads to the cutting stations. Razor-sharp blades slice through the leaves at remarkable speed, transforming them into those all-too-familiar fine strands. The cutting machines operate with hair's-breadth precision. Too coarse, and the cigarette won't burn properly. Too fine, and it burns too quickly. Throughout this process, quality control technicians take samples, checking moisture content, particle size, and blend consistency. Inside the cigarette manufacturing facility, precision machinery transforms tobacco into cigarettes at an astonishing pace. These engineering marvels produce up to 20,000 cigarettes every minute. That's over 300 per second, each identical to the last. The tobacco rod forms as the cut blend moves through mechanisms that deposit exact amounts onto specialized cigarette paper. This paper comes in massive rolls stretching up to 7,000 meters and feeds continuously into the machines. Operators monitor displays and make adjustments as needed, while the tobacco settles onto the moving paper where rollers fold and seal it into a continuous cylinder. Rotating blades slice this tobacco rod into perfect cigarette-length segments with millisecond timing, ensuring consistent weight and density. Meanwhile, another line prepares cellulose acetate filters that join with the tobacco rods at the assembly station. Tipping paper wraps around this junction point, creating the familiar two-tone appearance of the finished cigarette. The completed cigarettes pass through inspection points where human eyes and electronic sensors check for imperfections. Those meeting standards continue toward packaging, while rejected ones are removed. What began as loose tobacco minutes before has become thousands of perfectly formed cigarettes moving in synchronized patterns. Industrial engineering refined over decades. Quality control runs parallel to production, with specialists constantly sampling and testing cigarettes for weight, structure, and draw resistance. Even slight variations trigger rejection, ensuring consistency in every pack. Cigarettes that pass inspection move to packaging where they're grouped and wrapped in foil to preserve freshness. These groups slide into branded packs that receive health warnings before being sealed with cellophane and tear strips. The finished packs are collected into cartons and shipping cases, each with tracking information for global distribution. From field to consumer, every cigarette completes a precisely monitored journey most smokers never see behind each familiar pack that they purchase. From seeds in the soil to high-speed machines, the manufacturing of a cigarette is a complex blend of tradition, science, and automation. While the process is fascinating, it's a reminder of the powerful industry behind a product that impacts millions of lives every day.